911, this line is recorded. We're seeing emergency.
I just remember being frantic in a panic.
Oh my
Can you
God.
bring an ambulance? She's not breathing.
I just kept asking, what's going on? Is she breathing? Is the ambulance coming?
It was a desperate call for help in Winthrop last January. Andrea Feely's 2-year-old daughter Una wasn't feeling well and slumped over on the couch and stopped breathing.
I just remember doing CPR, and they were on the phone with my son the whole time. And I just remember I kept saying, where are they? Where are they?
Winthrop fire crews responded within minutes, but the 2 ambulances in town, contracted through Action Ambulance, were tied up on other calls, sitting at emergency rooms waiting with patients miles away.
We're still working on mutual aid right now. We need somebody there like ASAP.
The situation becoming more urgent as time ticked away. The fire chief put Una in the back of his SUV and rushed to Mass General in Boston, with firefighter EMTs performing CPR along the way. They arrived at the hospital 23 minutes after the initial call for help. Una didn't survive.
It's one of the most difficult calls I've been on. I've been on for 33 years.
What did Una deserve that day? What did she need?
An ambulance. Paramedics who could have possibly done more.
The NBC 10 investigators embedded with Action Ambulance and witnessed the challenges to fill the critical need firsthand.
Our largest worry is that those truly life-threatening cases, we might not have a resource available.
On a weekday afternoon, emergency crews were scrambling, responding to call after call. They hit level 0, where no ambulances were available to respond once again. Mike Waronka heads up the company. He's been a paramedic for 38 years.
So there are no ambulances left.
Not in town right now.
If somebody calls 911 within the next few minutes, what happens?
Then it's going to be a waiting game in terms of who has a resource to potentially send.
While Winthrop is at level 0, there are also no ambulances available in Revere, the city next door. Revere also had a 911 call and called Winthrop for help with mutual aid.
Action Ambulance is currently working on a mutual aid response.
2 municipalities had no ambulances at the same time. The EMS system is taxed across the state. On this day on the South Shore, ambulances are stacked up at Good Samaritan Hospital waiting for patients to be seen. In Boston, data we obtained shows response times are slowly creeping up and the number of calls have increased 20% in 3 years, with fewer EMTs on the road.
Boston, Alabama, looking for anyone with an available ALS unit.
In Western Mass,
Drive for the 82-year-old male that fell. Is bleeding from the
there's
arm.
no ambulance for an elderly man in Hamden.
So they have to find mutual aid for that call.
And in Pittsfield,
That means that we're level 0, which means we don't have any trucks to service Pittsfield anymore.
When you hear that no ambulance is available for a 911 call, what goes through your mind?
It's tragic and it's horrible. And we have to fix the system because we can't not answer the call.
Dr. Robbie Goldstein is the commissioner of the Department of Public Health, which oversees the emergency medical system in the state. He says staffing issues and overcrowded emergency rooms are part of the problem.
When an ambulance shows up to an emergency room and that emergency room is dealing with 60 emergency room boarders who are waiting to go upstairs, right? That means that that ambulance is going to wait. Those capacity issues are keeping ambulances off the road. And they're also taxing this really stretched workforce.
Emergency room backups, an increase in the number of calls, and low pay, which is impacted by the pay structure that only reimburses ambulances for the patient transport, are all having an impact.
The entire system is breaking. It's not just at a breaking point, it is breaking as we are watching this unfold in front of us right now.
She was such a joy to have. She lit up the room whenever she was around. And I keep hearing her say it. Mommy, Mommy.
A broken system may be partially to blame for one family's joy ending in heartache.
I can't imagine as a mom witnessing that day and then losing your little girl and dialing 911 and no one was there to help.
No words for that. Shouldn't have happened.
Kathy Curran, NBC 10 Investigators.